Welcome back to Winning on Taxes. And here we're diving right back in. We were just talking about how to make sure you're going to get your refund. Step number one, make sure everything is correct on your tax return. Step number two, verify that what your CPA has is correct. Don't just trust him or just say, hey, I'm getting a nice big refund. This should be correct. More and more, the IRS is just going to reject it, question it. And again, you can get hit with plenty of penalties now. Is your CPA at fault? Can they be held at fault? Yes, if they have errors and omissions. Yes, if they have the right insurances as they should. But many of them don't like to pay out, especially the ones that are not doing it the way they should be. Verify that the CPA is doing it right, that the IRS gets your return, and that the IRS processes it correctly. Believe it or not, the IRS loses stuff all the time. You can send something into them, their systems glitch, and it not get processed. And the best way to find out is irs.gov. You can see what's received, what's processed. And again, if I'm going to harp on that, there's a good reason for that. So just want to touch base that, review that. If you have questions, verify. We have to verify everything that we do with the IRS, and our joke is that we can't we can't trust the IRS further than we can throw them, and I can't throw them very far. But you get the idea. You have to double check everything that's done with the IRS to make sure it's done correctly. You can do that just online, or if it's not showing online, then you need to go back to your CPA or to your tax professional and say, hey, this isn't being done right. We have plenty of people that come to us with questions. I filed my tax return and never got processed. Where's my refund? And if it's a big enough issue, we'll take care of it, or we'll give you a simple advice on how to handle it if it's not something we would handle. So get that expert advice, verify what you're going to do. And the next big question is, with all the people being laid off from the IRS, am I going to be able to get through? It's going to be harder than ever to get through to the IRS. Honestly, we don't know. Again, this just happened, but I can tell you that Friday afternoon, I was calling the IRS, and this is the 21st, February 21st. I was getting through all day long. But I was calling, talking to collections. I skipped the first few layers of bureaucracy. And if you get a hold of people that really don't seem like they know what they're talking about, you can always hang up, call back, especially if you're calling later hours where it's easier to get through. Don't hesitate to stand up for your rights. You just need to make sure you know and understand them first, and then you can make sure that things are taken care of. I honestly believe that you still will be able to get through to the IRS and talk to the right person to get things taken care of. And if you just don't have the time or the ability to sit on hold, you might need a professional to help you out, because honestly, the last few years, they've been harder than ever to deal with. And in the short term, it will probably get harder. That's just reality. Long term, we're hoping that things become more efficient. But again, it's going to be a work in progress to figure this out and do this right. So the last question I want to touch on is, do I have to pay my taxes? We're all hoping for that magical day when, a proclamation comes down and says, hey, no more income tax. But can President Trump do that? No. The IRS was set up by Congress. Taxes are passed and controlled by Congress. And so Congress has the power of the purse to decide what will be spent, what are the budgets, and what aren't the budgets. So they can do executive orders up to a point, but really would take an act of Congress to change the role of the IRS, their collection methods, and honestly, if the tax is already owed, they're going to want to collect on that money regardless, because we have this huge national debt issue. And this is why Doge is really coming in to hack and slash the government, because we're overspending like crazy. So if someone's telling you these fairy tales, are there deals where you can wipe out your debt? Yes, but you have to go through the process, has to be done. You have to follow their formula. I had someone just the other day call me up and said, look, I heard someone say that if you bury a person on your property, someone online said that I won't have to pay property taxes ever. I said, don't listen to them. That's horrible advice. You'll end up losing your home if you don't pay property taxes. That's a local issue, not even touched by the IRS. But again, you'd be putting your home in danger of foreclosure for failure to pay property taxes. So anybody tells you stuff that sounds too good to be true, make sure you verify it. Make sure you confirm that it's right and protect yourself and your family. So again, if you're not sure, contact a good tax professional and get the information you need. So again, we're running up on a commercial break and we'll be right back.